Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching this from. My name is Kimwell Vanderboy, and you're listening to or watching the Voice of Africa TV or podcast. And today we have with us an Angella Katatumba. Did I pronounce your name right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. Angella Katatumba.
Oh, awesome.
You did.
Today we're interviewing Miss Angella Katatumba. She is a musician from Uganda. So our first question is, Miss Angella, can you tell us about your childhood growing up?
I grew up, born in Nairobi, Kenya, and my parents are His Excellency Boni Katatumba and Gertrude Katatumba. I have 7 brothers. Unfortunately, one passed away, Colin. And I have an elder sister. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And I went to nursery in Nairobi, went to the Katatumba Academy that was owned by my uncle and his brothers, my dad and his brothers, basically. It was headed by George William Katatumba, and we were there for a little while. And then when I was little, I went to Canada for high school. Then I went to England for university, where I did my law degree, economics degree, and master's degree in international management from Oxford Brookes University. And then I got married in England to an African-American gentleman who had just finished his time in the US Air Force. And then we moved to Chicago. And after Chicago, it didn't really work out. The relationship didn't work out. So I stayed there for a few years, working some professional jobs. And then I came back to Uganda to start my music career. So that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, so it looks like you got around the whole globe. It seems like you got around Kenya, Uganda. But
I know.
So are there any role models or mentors that you had to confide in like your whole process of being a musician?
The mentors for me was like when I was young and I would listen to Whitney Houston and Toni Braxton. I was so mesmerized by their voices, and I always used to mimic them. Like I would play Whitney's Greatest Love of All over and over and over and over and over until I sang it just like the way she did it. And same applies to Toni Braxton. So those two are the people that I looked up to and whose vocals I basically learned from.
Mm-hmm. So you you managed to sing Whitney Houston's songs together. So what songs of Whitney's did you sing?
The Greatest Love of All.
Wow.
I won like all my contests, like in Canada, in England. Every time we had like talent shows, and Angela had to come and perform, and I would sing Greatest Love of All, and it was a rap. I won every single contest with that song.
Oh my goodness. I could see that happening. Whitney Houston made some amazing tracks. And for you to sing it exactly like her, wow, that's insane.
Yep.
So how important is it that you keep your authenticity as an artist?
I think it's extremely, extremely important because, I mean, when people learn to accept who they are, you learn to, first of all, value your culture. And then when you are singing, there's only going to be one Angella Katatumba. So better appreciate and agree and accept who I am and learn what I can from wherever I get it from, because that's what makes me me. But I think it's so important to keep that authenticity as an artist instead of copying someone else and trying to be someone else. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important.
Because in today's time, it seems like at least musicians, it's kind of conflated or inflated actually with a lot of copycats. Every artist is copying some other artist's style or flow, and it just seems like, or at least in today's time, to be a norm. And I
know, and it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like everything out there is about the same thing.
Same thing, and the little originality these days. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So throughout your professional and educational careers, did you find that you have to prove yourself to defy people's assumptions or expectations of your gender or racial identity?
I pretty much had it easy. I think I just thank my father, um, His Excellency Boni Katatumba, and my mom, Gertrude Katatumba. I mean, like we grew up very, very blessed and well off, thank God, that everything was pretty easy for me and my brothers. So when I started singing, my dad just, made phone calls and introduced me to the right people and just made everything happen. He was basically my manager. So it was easy for me. So I've never faced the whole gender issues, or if there was like a big show, whatever, or something important, then my dad just made a call and guess who was headlining with the biggest artist too. So so I kind of so I kind of had shortcuts in the industry. So I didn't go through any of the gender bias issues.
Okay. Well, hmm. So given the current state of the world in regards to COVID, how have you managed to stay inspired to write music?
For me, my dad, especially my dad, he passed away in 2017 February. He was such a positive, crazy. The whole world's upside down. Businesses were closed. I'm fighting some court battles for my dad in court over some $1 million properties. So courts were closed. So what else was there to do? And for me, I'm lucky. I just instantly went to my passion, my first love, which is music. So it's because of music. Actually, it's because of COVID that I got a chance for the first time to put my all in music. So I've been like, doing songs like Tonde La Vida, which, went straight to number one. It's been number one in the country for months and months and months. And then I did another song, called Love Me, and I'm shooting many other videos. So for me, the COVID-19 situation kind of gave me the time to, to focus on my passion and my first love, music. So I'm grateful for that time that I've been given.
Okay. So before we move in, we at TUC would just like to offer you our condolences over your brother and your father. Life is one of the most precious gifts
Thank
one could receive, and we just hope that everything, or that you're doing well or coping.
Thank you. I am. Thank God. Thank you.
It's no problem. So, with the scene heating up, are African artists commanding equitable respect dollar-wise?
Um, Somehow lately, yes, a little bit better. And I know that because of their quality and their aggression, people are beginning to understand that Africa is a force to reckon with in the music industry. So the music industry is beginning to receive a little more respect. But I'm not going to ask for too much. At least something is better than nothing. At least we're on the way there. So it's a good start. East Africa, we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? We're trying, we're limping, but at least we have the Nigerians that we're trying to, to learn from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but even in Uganda, I'm seeing videos are coming up with better quality, audios are coming up with better sound. So yeah, there is hope. So and then now that when the people are seeing us putting in money and investments in these music videos and songs, they're beginning to appreciate us more, pay us a little more, not as much as they should. We haven't even got the copyright issues sorted out in Uganda yet. Like this, still a lot of loopholes and a lot of issues and reasons why artists are not getting their full pay because we're not a properly developed industry yet. But we are slowly getting there, and people are slowly beginning to appreciate and pay a little more for our services.
Okay, that kind of ties into my next question, actually, which is, what is your creative, or what is your creative process like, and are you involved in any of the visuals in your music videos?
I'm always a hands-on person. Like my parents taught us to do everything. If you want to do something, you do it yourself. You want to get it done right, you do it yourself. So I am hands-on in everything, and especially in my music. In the studio, I'm hands-on. In my videos, I'm hands-on editing my videos. I'm sitting side by side with the video producers, with the Toneda Vida video maker, Shilo, and all the others. He'll tell you, we sit together and we go through each frame together. So I'm extremely invested and part of anything that where my brand or image is concerned.
Okay. So, what was your first award, and how did this impressive form of recognition impact you or inspire you to do more?
My first award was I got an award from the Office of the Prime Minister in Uganda, and that and that was for my Gulu, my For You Gulu project. I have an NGO called the Angella Katatumba Development Foundation, and under this NGO I do projects. So For You Gulu is one of my projects that I started in 2006. And I was just basically using my voice to sing about the plight of the people in northern Uganda. And everybody was getting on with their lives, but people in Gulu were, suffering, dying, lips being chopped off, ears being chopped off. It was crazy. So anyway, I did a song for that, and I raised so much awareness with my voice and my music. For You Gulu, I raised so much awareness. We had all these international media houses, CNN, Voice of America, Al Jazeera, all these international media houses, Deutsche Welle TV, flying to Uganda, interested, saying, we want to meet this girl who's talking about Gulu. And they interviewed me, and it was such an amazing storm. Of course, I did all that with my dad's help and his connections on ground. But I made such a huge deal about it, and so much awareness was created that I got an award from the Office of the Prime Minister. And then after that, we had the president of the Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was swearing in. And then the president's office invited me to be the first artist to perform with the prisons, the police, and the army band. Like, nobody's ever performed live with them. So those were, at the same time, but my first awards and recognitions ever in life.
Wow, that's I don't know how to say that, but that's like a crazy step for your first award.
I know.
But at any point in time when you were creating awareness, were you fearful for your life? Because it seems like it must have been a great deal of responsibility, like showing the people that this is what's happening, and maybe someone might have said something or done something to maybe threaten your life.
That's an excellent question, because there was a time when I started creating awareness for the Gulu, the war in northern Uganda, in Gulu. The war hadn't ended. So I was supposed to go there and, greet the people and, let them know I'm with them. It was one of the scariest times of my life, because Connie was still around and he was a threat. And here I am, obviously making world news. So I was so scared that if I go to Gulu, I'm in his territory. So of course I'm finished. So I remember that night I slept at the Acholi Inn in Gulu. But I refused to sleep in my room. I slept in the car. I'm like, if he comes here, he's going to know that I'm at this hotel, because they were advertising, Angella Katatumba is coming. And later when I tell people, everyone's like, that's the worst place. I'm like, well, in my head, that was the best. So of course we're scared. My parents kept calling every second. They're like, have you reached Karuma Dam? Have you passed Karuma Dam? That's it's like a dam where on the way to Gulu, it's like, you're in Gulu. So on my way there, they're like, where are you? And now. So my dad is like, you just have to be confident. You have to pray. You have to leave things to God. When you're doing the right thing, you have to just do it. That's what makes people great. Everybody else is scared. But don't worry, you have our love. You have our encouragement. We've sent you off with security. You should be fine. And just fight for the people. So yeah, that's the answer. We were scared, but it had to be done. And I thank my parents for giving me that encouragement to do it.
Wow. You can write a movie about that.
Oh, no.
So what inspired you to stay committed to this career path after the years of struggling to get your music out to the world?
I've been inspired by, one, the fact that this is my talent. This is my passion. When I was in high school in Canada, my parents knew from when I was a young age, watching Whitney Houston and Toni Braxton, they knew that Angela loves to sing. So my dad and mom made sure they paid $40 an hour every day for me to go after school for classes, every single day. So they paid an extra $40 an hour for me to go for extra singing classes, to be trained how to use the diaphragm, how to use, your real voice, the husk, the lows, the name it. I can do it when it comes to vocals. So I went through that training, and my parents paid a lot for my passion. That's my every time. That's the number one thing I do. That is my number one go-to. So regardless of whatever is going on, music will always be number one. And that is, like, for example, when the COVID situation came, I ran back to what I'm good at, music. So music is just going to forever be me, forever.
Oh, wow. So you've already done collabs with Daddy Andre, Tony Labila?
Yeah, Tony Labila.
Tony Labila, and a lot more. Who else is on your list that you'd like to collaborate with?
I recently dropped a song in August, a collaboration of myself with Kenton Flosso, and we did a song called "Love Me" that's out. And when we released it, it went straight to number one. So that's now the song that's on top at the moment, and that's exciting. And then I'm planning to do. My management, Black Markets, hopefully are going to get me. Well, they're already planning on getting me some international collaborations around Africa, and hopefully in the US very soon. Yeah, but I'm always open to collaborate and work with other artists, and I'm hoping even with some Nigerian artists. That would be awesome. So yeah, so right now just Daddy Andre, Tony Davida, and Kenton Flosso, and yeah, I'm open for others though.
All right. So what about some Ghanaian artists? Are you interested? You're interested in some Ghanaian artists?
I would love that. I would love them. I'm open. I would love them.
Awesome. I'm just teasing. But beyond Afrobeats, what other styles and artists should the industry be looking at in Africa?
In Africa, I think that there's that techno sound. I think techno sound would be a good sound for the Africans to pick up on also, if we can start that sound. And that jazzy, acid jazz, that was a huge sound in the UK when I used to perform with a live band at a club called Punana's on Corn Market Street. It was an acid jazz band, but we had so many like huge celebrities, Val Kilmer, Whoopi Goldberg would come to that spot and then watch me perform with a band. That was when I was in uni. So that kind of vibe, that acid jazzy kind of feel, techno, those are some sounds that I would love the continent of Africa to start picking up on.
Wow, okay. Because it seems like everyone just wants to focus, well, considering that it's the highlight right now for Africa, that everybody wants to focus in Afrobeats, and some other people are getting drowned out with different styles. And I just thought that since you yourself are an artist, it'd be a perfect opportunity to ask that question. So
and I'm sorry, I also would love them to start focusing on soul. You know that Whitney, the Jennifer Hudson. I would love Africans, because some people have really good voices that get like drowned behind the Afrobeat kind of. It doesn't bring out the vocals. I would also love Africans to start picking up on soul.
Definitely, 100%. I believe that as well. Some celebrities tend to branch into different types of entertainment. So what's next for you? Acting, or since you already said that you're prime ministers, I mean,
the funny thing is I already acted for the Oscar-winning video, the Oscar-winning movie, Last King of Scotland, that Forrest Whitaker shot here in Uganda. I was in that movie, but if you blinked, you missed me. You definitely, if you blinked, you missed me. But I was, my role was beautiful woman number one. So my job was to stand around him when he was one of the cocktails and just be around him, smiling by the pool. That was my role. So I've done a bit of acting. Yo, I'm putting that on my CV.
Now we can put it on your list. Artist,
Yeah.
singer, actor, and prime minister, apparently. So,
So I was saying that so for me, acting, I've already put that on my pocket. That's part of my CD. The prime minister, it was the prime minister's office that awarded me.
right, right.
Yeah, that you got. And then I've also been a diplomat because of my papa. When he passed away, I was his deputy. So he was the ambassador of Pakistan to Uganda. And I was his deputy for 10 years. So when he passed away, I was at the helm and I was the one, signing when Pakistanis were stuck at the airport. It was my signature that would, if they needed travel documents, I would create those. So I had so much power at such a young age. My dad always brought us up to be so disciplined and he kept training us. So there's no way that I'd be tempted like that because that would be short term. I'd probably be in prison because, you're running, you have all the power of Pakistan in your office. You have the seal, you have the signature, and you're working with the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Uganda. Only a fool would abuse that kind of power. So I did not in any way abuse the power, thank God. So yeah, that's another thing I've done. So I don't know what else you'd want me to do if I wasn't doing music.
So how do you wish to see Africa?
I would wish to see Africa obviously more developed, more exposed, because it's so important to travel. When you travel, you see different cultures, you just see a different world. And you see people's understanding, and you see that abroad, people take work seriously. If somebody says this interview starts at 5 p.m., you better be ready by 4:39 or 4:50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Africa is so slacked. And let me talk about Uganda in specific. We are so behind. I know in the UK, in the US, you call it colored people's time, but CPT. Uganda, I don't know what we can call it because we are like behind colored people's time. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could actually, there's this type of doing things, and Africans, they have the weather, they have the beautiful, the truth is they have the beautiful weather, and every day is summer, and they're a bit too relaxed. You know what I'm saying? There's no urgency. Like in the US, it was work, 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 time, work, time, work. In England, in Canada, all over the world, it's work. But you come to Africa, everybody's too chill. It's not that serious. Mm-hmm. So this is what I wish that Africa could get, that sense of urgency and sense of work, and get a good work ethic. And yeah, apart from that, of course, obviously the corruption, if we could have less of it. I think corruption is worldwide. Let's not pretend it's worldwide. Yeah. But again, Africa, I think they take it to a whole different level. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. At least fix the roads, fix everything, then do your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But here, but here they're not going to fix the roads right, and they're going to steal the money. So it's not fair. What I'm saying. So the problem in Uganda, Africans are flying out. The ones with money are flying out, to Europe or UK or America for surgeries. Women are flying to US to give birth. We need to have such facilities in Uganda, in Africa. So these are amongst a very, very long list of things. These are the few things that are very important that I wish that Africans could step up to the plate and be like the Western world, So yeah, those are my little things. But otherwise, with all their faults, I would always choose Africa over anywhere in the world. That's why I'm back home.
How do you wish, or how can African musicians command more respect dollar-wise?
African musicians need to demand launches and say, look, I'm not going to perform at this show for less than $10,000. And you're serious. And all the other artists have an association, and we all agree. That's when they will start taking us seriously. If we value ourselves, number one. But right now, there's this, you have the few that value themselves, and then if they think they're too up there, they'll simply go to the ones that don't value themselves and get them for close to nothing. So these are the issues we're having. If we could all be united and like value ourselves in the industry and the world, the country, will be forced to value us, and they'll be forced to pay us for our value. So these are the issues that the teething issues we have in Uganda, especially.
Okay. How can the Voice of Africa support your causes?
Wow, like what you're doing right now. I'm honored. Like, I can't believe that the Voice of Africa would want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're interviewing me is, you're helping the world know about myself and my music and my NGO. You're creating awareness, and that's amazing, because you're putting out an amazing message out there that we do have, artists that value themselves and that produce really good music and have really good talent, and showcase us to the world, so that very soon I'll be on the stage with Beyonce, thanks to Voice of Africa.
Maybe I'll be with the Prime Minister, because so that's one of our last questions. Do you have any advice for any youth following in the footsteps or your footsteps?
My advice is always to be patient. A lot of people think that the artists, it's always about the glamour and the parties and, that beautiful life. And I always wish that they would be patient and not want to rush to crash. And a lot of people don't understand that music is a marathon race. That's why we have Celine Dion, we have Jennifer Lopez, we have Tina Turner at 80, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing, you know what I'm saying? They're doing things and you're buying their music. So they're still in the game. So the problem here is there's a lot of rushing to crash. They're running a marathon race using a Usain Bolt Sprint, which is the problem. So they get frustrated when they don't make it to the top, because it won't last. They're just doing quick bubblegum music to be known very quickly. So many desperate acts that they don't have to be. So I wish that they could understand that music is a marathon race. Take it easy, take it slow, be patient, have God. Sometimes you'll do everything and you'll be prepared, and then you need to pray, because it's just not your time, So, and I pray that they can also start making music that will last forever, for generations. Whitney Houston passed away in 2013 or something like that.
Yeah.
Her music, I don't see it ever dying out, Or Michael Jackson. So why can't, was it 2016 when she passed? I can't remember. Anyway, her and Mike, and you can remember, I can't remember. But either way, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston passed away, and they're the greatest legends ever. And their music is still so powerful for generations and generations. So I wish that artists would, on top of making sure that they are talented, produce music that will last for generations and generations. That is the little advice I would give to the artists out there and to the youth.
Well, it's really reassuring to hear that someone as big as yourself is telling people to take it slow, because oftentimes you'd hear, at least in America or some parts of Nigeria or some Nigerian artists, they'll tell you to get out as much music as you want, do everything so fast. But as you said, it's more so of a marathon, and that you have to take your time with it. Oh, it was really nice talking to you. I really enjoyed our time.
Thank you so much, the Voice of Africa. I was so honored when you contacted me to have an interview. I was so excited, because I find you amazing. You talk to very, very, very important people. So I'm like, really, me? So thank you so much. And thank you for creating awareness. And thank you for letting the world know that Angella Katatumba is out here in Uganda, ready to take over the world with music. And look out for more music in 2020. I'm even dropping a new song very soon. So tell them that 2020, I have much more music coming up, and I'm not playing.
Awesome. So thank you for joining us, Miss Angella Katatumba.